The problem I've discovered in working with over 150,000 people worldwide over the last 16 years is that you are working against your natural money language. So it's like someone whose main language is English, but you're trying to deeply express yourself in Mandarin. Eventually, you can get there through many years of hard work, studying, and practicing. But most of the time, you end up defaulting back to your native language to communicate because it's just taking so much work and so much effort. So this has been a long time in the making, doing this special four-part series, the four money languages, because I don't want to bring you anything that I have not greatly tested on myself and have tested and implemented with thousands and thousands of my students that are in my membership and my mastermind and coaching and places where I speak and I coach in the corporate world. And hands down, you will fall into one of four money languages. And I'm going to explain in this part one how to utilize this. You may have heard of the love languages, right? And if you haven't, you can go look that up. It's like, where do you feel the most love and how do you express love to another? Is it acts of service? Is it gift giving? Is it physical touch? Is it words of affirmation? And so I have applied a similar concept, but when it comes to money and what money does for you inside your nervous system and what it means to you when you spend it, when you risk it, when you receive it, when you want it, when you yearn for it, when you go for it. And we want to utilize your natural money language so that you can make more of this stuff much faster while working less. And of course, making more. My brand new workbook course that is now on a mega sale. It'll never be on this kind of sale ever again. You can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/make more, work less. It's like we did an early Black Friday sale with it where the first 200 people get 200 off. This is well over 50% sold out right now, so you're not going to want to miss it. And I'm doing my biggest Black Friday sale ever. On top of that, for the workbook course, my famous ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, we have opened 33 new member spots, and it's at the lowest price you can ever get it. This is only happening once a year, so you get $50 off the first month, plus $2,200 in brand new insane bonuses that are designed to supercharge your journey to success and change your money story for good. And you can go see the Black Friday sale for the posse at projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday. All the links are in the show notes. You can swipe up or here inside the description on this video on YouTube. Let's get moving and make some stuff happen because you're either stacking the odds in your favor for you to have an incredible transformation, incredible abundance, be able to have that freedom level lifestyle changing cash in 2024, or you're stacking the odds against you. And that's your choice. We have to take abundant actions if we want to receive abundance. Thinking about it, wishing for it, longing for it, talking about it, that isn't going to cut it. You've got to get into the energy of abundant actions. And this four-part series is going to help accelerate that process for you. I can't wait for you to dive into it, share it with everyone you know, discuss it over the holiday season, discuss it over New Year's, and determine even the people in your life, your partners, your siblings, people who work for you, friends of yours, what money language did they identify with the most? What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your mindset, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. I felt that we needed to move it to the money bedroom. And if you are watching on ProjectME TV on YouTube, you can see it. Also, if you are someone who has gotten my Make More, Work Less workbook inside the course and the video trainings that go along with the workbook, We filmed them in the money room. It's quite entertaining because the more fun we have, the more money we make. And if this stuff isn't fun, or we don't find a way to make it fun and enjoyable, even stuff that is kind of mundane, then what's the point? Because we spend so much of our lives working and doing that if we don't find joy in that, that means we're going to be robbed of joy a significant portion of our days, our weeks, our months, and our lives. And I'm not really about that life. So, in this part one of the four money languages, I want to make sure I include how to best use this. So, use this as a tool. It's similar to the love languages. You can even look at it like if you've taken Enneagram or Myers Briggs test. Look at it where it is another set of information to help you best self identify, particularly right in the money house when it comes to abundance, when it comes to wealth, and to help you identify this stuff in other people. Because in your personal relationships, even in work relationships, this will help you to discuss money more freely, to approach people in a way that they can receive it, where they don't just totally shut down. And you're going to be able to use this to work with your natural relationship to money. Here's what I call bullshit on, okay? Is that in order for you to make more money, in order for you to have an abundance mindset, in order for you to manifest, in order for you to go from your current financial situation to making millions of dollars, that you have to be something other than what you are. I'm not saying you don't have habits, you don't have beliefs, you don't have things going on in there, subconscious work in there that needs to be shifted. That's why I have my guided workbook course, which is designed to shift your money story in 7 days or less. And yes, I'm going to keep talking about it because your ass better get it. It's $200 off right now. It's never going to be that low of a price again. It's 50% sold out because it is a limited drop of 200 people. So go grab that damn workbook. And that's a beautiful and a very important place to start. But note what I said. You do not need to be more of this, less of this. You're not too much of this and too little of that. That's bullshit. Now, I used to think that. I had all those thoughts. Oh, I have to be more organized. I have to be more type A. I have to be more focused. I have to be more on it. I have to be more extroverted in order to have what I want. That is not what this is about. When we think we have to be something other than what we are innately, and we're fighting against it with the voices in our head. And yes, I say plural because I know your ass has more than one, as do I, with how your nervous system reacts to money stuff, whether it's receiving money, the thought of money, spending money, making money, bill time, all the stuff. We want to work with what is already happening. So again, using the analogy of the love languages, if your innate love language, how you feel loved, which of course is all interwoven from childhood, like mine, for example, acts of service is the number one, period, hands down. Why? Because when you're raised by a narcissist in a highly abusive household, abusive people, toxic people, they'll love bomb you. They'll say a bunch of stuff. They'll buy you gifts. They'll even do physical touch, hugs, very strategic touches of the arm, of the leg, in order for you to feel safe in their presence. So none of that stuff really reads deeply to me, but acts of service, that is someone taking time, energy, and effort out of their precious lives to do something with me. There's also quality time. But I also have some other side love languages, right? As do you. So I do really like physical touch and quality time. And of course, I like gifts. So there's a little bit in each of these things, but you do have a predominant one. So with the four money languages, this is over me coaching over 150,000 people worldwide, experimenting on this, really testing this. This is many years in the making because I don't want to bring anything to you until it's absolutely sorted out where it's concrete and it's going to work. So I want you to go, okay, another example, like my Enneagram. I'm an Enneagram 6, but there's wings in an Enneagram. So my wings are a 9 and a 3. When it comes to these 4 money languages, you might identify little parts of yourself in all 4. That's not what we're talking about. It's not an absolute, it's not black and white, but you do have one that sticks out. So here is such a great way to utilize this 4-part series, whether you're assessing it for someone else or you're assessing it for yourself. Go with a percentage scale. So you have 100% and divvy up percentage chunks based on which of these 4 money languages resonate the most for you. So part 1, I'm starting with mine. This is my number 1. It's security and safety, and it's very high for me. This is at the root of everything when it comes to money for me. The positive stuff, the abundance side of it, and the scarcity side of it, all of it. I would say it's as high as 70% for me. So let's get into it. And you might listen to it and go, oh, I'm not sure. These are meant to listen to, several times over. And you can evolve and be in different stages of your life where one might carry a little higher percentage than the other, but really your main one is always the damn same. Okay. So my whole thing was safety and security. So this is money languages, number 1, is that you need to have money in order to feel secure and safe. That's what it represents to you. That's your key driver. That's your key motivator. This makes you feel like you can breathe, you can sleep at night, you'll be okay, all is well in the world. And some tendencies you might have would be to be like a chipmunk, which is something that my business manager used to call me. And I can still fall into this where you're just saving, like money under the mattress, so to speak, like saving, because like you just need to make sure because anything can happen and you want to be prepared for all the things. And you don't have anyone to depend on as a backup plan, or you may have had some people you thought you could depend on as a backup plan or to help you in times of need who weren't there for you. And likely these people weren't there for you in childhood. So you can get heavily into self-will. Maybe you self-identify as a super independent person. It can be difficult for you to ask for help. Another sign that your main love language is security and safety is that you have a hard time with risk. You overanalyze and overthink any significant purchase, even small purchases. You might overanalyze. Should I get this? Should I do this? Should I go into Tiffany's posse? Should I get Tiffany's workbook? I don't know. I already have this going on and that going on. Should I do this? Or I already did this other thing and I didn't finish it. So should I do this? And wow, heavily intellectualizing everything versus being in your body and feeling all the things. And what happens is that when there isn't money or people aren't buying your thing that you launched, or you didn't get the promotion that you wanted, or something didn't work out like you thought it was going to work out in business, or you hired somebody or you invested in a program that really didn't get you a return on your investment like you hoped for, it can put you into a dysregulated spiral, like to where it's wild, where you're not sleeping at night, you have anxiety. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you're like stuck in this worry loop. And then when money does come in, it's like a dopamine hit, like someone injected you with like heroin. You're like, ah, I'm okay. And the danger of this is when we're depending on something outside of ourselves in this particular discussion, money, to let ourselves know that we're okay. Ooh, not a good plan. Because if you look at the stock market, you look at any business in the entire world, I don't care what size business, multi-billion, trillion-dollar businesses to a small mom and pop coffee shop, it is in waves, up and down, up and down. Now you look at trends, right? How is something trending? But it goes in waves and you will be a disaster all over the place. Likely, you're someone like me who had a very difficult time leaving your corporate job to start your business, or you're still in it and you want to leave so badly. You want to leave the jobby job. You believe you can do it. You see the evidence you can do it. You know that I'm here to show you how to do it. Yet you have this attachment to this sense of security. Well, this is who all the corporate people go after. They want you to have the golden handcuffs. Oh, I can depend on this paycheck. I can depend on this health insurance. Not really. They could do a reorg and you could be fired at any time. And this goes for pretty much any country. Now, some areas you could get unemployment, but that doesn't match what you were making. It's an illusion. It's an absolute illusion. And if you haven't noticed, most corporations, they don't care if you've sweat blood and tears for them and given them 20 years, even if you're a top performer or a salesperson or making them money. That's an illusion and a delusion to think that you're irreplaceable. Okay. That's just more mental gymnastics a lot of us have to do when we're in that state where we're afraid to leave, or you're a couple years away from a retirement package or your stocks vesting and you're just holding on. What I picture you doing, and I did it. Okay. I was terrified and it didn't make sense when you saw how terrified I was. Like if you looked at what I had in the bank for savings, you looked at my skill set, you looked at my ability to be resourceful and tenacious and to show up and do the work and the humble and willing to ask for help and get guidance. I had all the makings, right? I already started my side hustle while I was in corporate and I was already making money from it. So it's not like I didn't have proof. I was still terrified. There wasn't enough proof. There wasn't enough evidence. I would had to have had millions and millions and millions in the bank, maybe for me to have enough evidence to leave. And I could have maybe even what ifed that. So you're likely a what ifer, but what I picture you doing, because this is what I did, is you're holding on to a branch of a tree. You see the ground isn't that far, and you could let go of the branch and you could make it to the ground without breaking a bone. You might stumble, right? You could get a bruise maybe, but you won't break a bone. And it's right there and you're dangling with one arm and that arm's getting really fucking tired and you're terrified to let go of it. What I've seen a lot of things happen with my clients is they end up getting fired because sometimes the universe will do for you what you can't do for yourself, or the amount of discomfort and pain and misery and soul sucking that is going on is the pain just keeps increasing to get you to let go of the damn branch. Now, the branch analogy in this case, this could be a partner you're holding on to for money. This could be a relationship with a parent who's giving you money in your life. I started down this path even with my first business that I still have, my 8-figure business. I've had 16 years now. When I went to start my dream business, this one, Project Me with Tiffany Carter, I did the tree branch thing again because I'd built up my own business where this is a guarantee. I already have an established reputation. I'm very well known in the medical marketing world. And I know how to do this. And this is safe. And this is a no brainer. But I kept putting off my dream, putting off my dream. And I was afraid, even though I wasn't shutting down my other company, I was afraid of starting something new. And I went, what if it doesn't work? What if I spend all this energy, time, and money and this business doesn't take off? Then I'm going to be so pissed off. And then I'm going to have to just be resolved to the fact that I just need to keep running this other business, which I'm very grateful for. And it's intellectually stimulating, but it's not my ultimate heart. It's not my ultimate dream. And it took me 10 fucking years to start Project Me with Tiffany Carter. all from the safety and security. And if you want to see me spiral behind the scenes here, I have to have 3 coaches and a therapist and a psychiatrist in place when I'm launching something like this new guided workbook course that I've been talking about and I joke about, but like truly so vulnerable for me. Anytime I put out something that's new, right? Something that's fresh, like me talking about my posse membership and the big Black Friday sale right now. I'm like, this is, you're not going to get this any other time of the year. This is it, right? That's your golden ticket to transforming your money story for good, is doing the combo of the Black Friday sale between my posse membership and the guided workbook course. But I can talk about the posse membership nonstop with zero trigger in response in my body now. But when I first launched the membership, it was like, okay, are people going to buy it? What if they don't buy it? They need to buy it. Oh my God, I hope they buy it. And it's not because I was desperate in terms of needing the cash, but it was like, the more people who buy it, the safer it felt to my nervous system. It wasn't, don't take the safety and security necessarily so literal. There is an aspect of that, but it's also I'm safe and secure. This means I'm doing good work. This means I'm okay. This means I'm being accepted and valued. This means this is working. Once again, using something external outside of myself in order to validate, whether that's money, whether that's accolades, whether that's number of signups, whether that's number of podcast downloads. By the way, we're at an all-time high for our downloads of the episode. So thank you so much, loyal listeners, new listeners, you guys sharing the show. I so appreciate it. It's a matter of visibility and getting more and more people exposed to our show here. And I really means a lot to me. I read all of these reviews, by the way. But if I was dependent on those numbers to keep going, to keep building, to keep pushing through the hard days, to keep showing up when I don't feel like it, to know I'm worthy of this abundance, to know what I'm creating here with ProjectME is revolutionary and is changing people's lives and it's only growing. If I needed all of these external things to do that, I would have quit a long time ago. So what you can do if safety security is one of yours is that you need to develop a plan, a safety security plan for yourself. How can I make myself feel safe and secure no matter what? And that doesn't mean you don't spiral out and have meltdowns. I mean, hello. That's that's pretty normal around here, but we regroup. If you're spiraling and you don't get anything done for a week, that no, we can't do that. Okay. If you need a day or two and you come back, that's fine, but you can't disappear from a business for a week and then do that regularly and expect to be bringing in the big bucks. Okay. How can I make myself and let myself know, let my inner child know, let my higher self know I'm safe and secure just as I am. I have more than enough right now. And you can be like, God, well, how do you do that, Tiffany, when you're in debt? You're trying all the things, you're not making money. You're not making, if you're doing all the things and you're not making money, it's because you are spiraling in one of these 4 money languages. And people can feel that energy and you are acting out of a frantic scarcity nature and therefore you're just continuing to repel abundance. So the very thing you're wanting money to do for you, the very thing you're wanting your manifestations to do for you, I need you to do it for yourself first. And you got to go with me on this. Some of the stuff I'm teaching you is kind of big concept stuff. So it's not unusual if it takes you a few days to process this, if you have to listen to this a few more times. This is why I want you to share the series with people in your life so you guys can discuss it, right? It's just like the discussion around being an introvert or an extrovert. We don't want to work against, like, I'm an introvert. I used to pretend I was an extrovert because I thought that's what you had to be successful. Well, it's fucking exhausting. And an extrovert tries to pretend they're an introvert, that's you're going to combust. I don't want you to pretend. We need to honor this part of ourselves, right? I have used money and numbers in business, any form of success to remind myself that I'm safe and secure. And I can see that I do that. I'm going to connect the dotted lines, really kind of sink in, do Tiffany's workbook course and see why why does that happen? Where did this come up? Did I not have anyone I could depend on or go to in childhood? Was I taught or did I observe extreme high and lows with money and things? And that's where this came from. Or there's just a lack of distrust. Did I have someone scam me and steal from me? And there's some PTSD stuff in there. And just honor that about yourself. It's okay. We don't need to judge this. This is how it is. And I'm not even mad at my business manager for calling me a chipmunk. He also is like, it's like you're someone who's from the Great Depression. And he's not trying to make me feel bad. We just don't hide the reality of how we are over here at ProjectME or at Team Tiffany Carter. The people in my life, we talk about things with love, but also with directness, because you want to know how I've fucked myself more than anything when it comes to finances. It's from me not having done this work because I didn't have this realization, which is why I'm bringing it to you on safety security. Okay. It was brought to me early on to be an investor in Netflix. The director of HR was like a good gym friend of mine. And this was in the boom of the startups. Okay. And I think I was like a reference for her on her resume or something to get the job. And she let me know. Apparently, obviously, they needed more funding. And she said they're doing a round. And would you be interested? And I was like, well, tell me more about it. And I said, I know it was like movie based or something. Meanwhile, I was the queen of Blockbuster. Okay. I loved going to like a movie store or video store, whatever the hell they were called. And she explained it to me. I'm like, so you're telling me I have to order my movie that I want now? I have to order it and then I get a DVD in the mail. I go, who the fuck's going to do that? When you want something, you want it now. I'm not going to wait for it. And she wasn't trying to convince me, but she was explaining the opportunity to me and explaining the big vision. But because my whole financial thing is security, safety, this read as danger, danger, high risk, abort mission, don't do it. What if it doesn't work? Da 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 da. You know how much that investment would be worth today with compound interest? Well over like $19 million. In fact, even more than that, really, because I would have invested that money and then that money would have made money. Right. So I just want to give you an example of how this costs us a lot. When we are not aware of this operating side of ourselves. And I have invested too conservatively in the stock market for someone who's my age. And I started investing in the stock market in my 20s. That's when it's time to be more aggressive. Too scared, too scared. And if you looked at my portfolio, I mean, the common theme of anyone who works on my finance stuff is they'll go, we're too heavy in cash. We're too heavy in cash. It's the opposite of what I teach. I teach passive income. You want your money making money, but I'm so heavy in cash. It's like, well, what if? But what if something happens? And I mean, I could go down a wildness. Like, I mean, I can go deep with it. Like, what if I get really sick and I'm unable to work? And then I have my money tied up in like stocks and other investment funds. And then I can't work for years and I need to have, I mean, and so all the money lost from that. So what we do and what I've done in this particular one and what I do with clients is we have our own plan to give it to ourselves. What can we do to feel safe and secure and supported and give that to ourselves and not be dependent on an external thing, an external circumstance working out a certain way, a launch working out a certain way in order for us to feel and our nervous system to feel regulated. So how do we do that? You have to lean in to a higher power of your understanding. If it's God, then it's God. If it's the universe, it's the universe. If it's angels, if it's aliens, if it's spirit guides, in my case, I talk to everybody, okay? I need the full committee. For some people who've gone through like religious abuse and other things that have happened, um, they have to use nature, which is also a beautiful thing to do. And I want you to create a daily routine, preferably something you do in the morning, at night, and at night. This doesn't have to take a long time, to remind yourself that you're safe and you're turning it over and you are supported. You're divinely supported by a power greater than yourself. And if you do not do things and constantly reinforce that message, you are not in control. The money thing's an illusion, right? Like you think you're in control. It's perceived control. Listen, you want to listen to someone who's been very wealthy and someone who's been broke. And I've been both. And it's much more fun being rich. But I can tell you this, the more money I amassed, it did not lessen that safety, security, anxiety, that language in me. I thought it would. So I would keep stacking more cash, thinking I would get to it. It's like, I've seen a lot of people do this with relationships. Once I get married, once I find the right guy, once I find the right woman, then I'll be blank. It's no fucking different when you do it with money. And I understand the reality, like you've got bills to pay and things like that. And I'm not saying there's not a sense of ease when you can start doing that and make money on your own and doing what you love. This is why I teach make more and work less. But you will sabotage it if you don't give to yourself what you are looking for your manifestations to give to you. I want you to write it out, or you can talk it out with a trusted friend. What am I looking for my key manifestations, like the top 3 things I'm wanting to bring in my life right now? What am I looking for those to give me? Is it peace? Is it security? Is it happiness? Is it a sense of belonging? Is it a sense of connection? Is it a sense of empowerment? Is it a sense of safety? Is it a sense of support and security? And then the next step is, how can I give this to myself? Maybe a daily practice for you is reading a daily reader. They have them that are dedicated to the universe. They have them that are dedicated they're more like Bible daily readers for people who are big Bible people. And that's where you read whatever page it is of the day, like it is November 12th, you're reading the November 12th reading. If you're watching on YouTube, I can show you mine. I have digital versions. They're incredible, from the app maker. I think it's Hazelton. Hay House has a lot. Shout out Louise Hay. We love Louise Hay. So I do daily readers. I'll show you one of them on here. A lot of these are for like people with codependency and stuff, like the language of letting go. And you read the one for that day. I will soon be coming out with a daily reader for you guys, which is really exciting. And you can do a card pull and get card decks. So, like my abundance card deck, the first 10 people, by the way, who do the Black Friday sale with the ProjectME Posse Business Coaching membership, get my digital abundance card deck for free. So maybe you get a card deck, angel cards, then you use my abundance deck and you pull a card from the day. This is something outside of yourself. You're getting a message. You're getting a message that didn't come from within, that didn't come from self-will. Maybe it's you keeping a God box or a universe box and putting your worries in that box as a symbol, right? That you are surrendering and you're putting trust into the universe. Maybe it's that you keep an evidence log. It could be in your notes app in your phone, of all the pieces of evidence that you see that show you that you're safe. Maybe it's that, I don't know, that you can look back and go, you know what? I am able to pay my bills every month. I always figure out a way. One of mine is, Tiffany, you're always abundant. You're never going to not be able to make money. Like, because I'm willing to roll up my sleeves, I'm determined, I'll do the work, and I'll show up. And there's a shortage of people, companies in the world looking for people to work for them. I'm always hiring when it's the right person, when it's a superstar. So worst comes to worst, your girl over here, you know damn well I'll go back to working at Starbucks, you know, reminding yourself of those things. So I'm curious if you have related to the security and safety. Share this episode, share this series on social media and tag me at Project Me with Tiffany. Go check out the Black Friday sale, projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday. So my posse membership is designed to take you from $0 to $15,000 a month in your business. Everything you need in there to do that as a solopreneur, meaning you don't need to hire some big team. You don't need to have ads. You don't need to be some wildly tech savvy person. We keep it simple. We keep it straightforward so that you can bring in that level of cash. I have people in there though that are making well more than that, but they love the accountability. They love that there's weekly live trainings. They love the connection and the collaboration with the other group members. And you're getting over $2,200 of new exclusive bonuses for Black Friday. And then to go to the workbook course, which is a no-brainer. This is the next move for you, is projectmewithtiffany.com/make more work less. Swipe up. It's in the show notes. It is also in the description here on Project Me TV on YouTube. Let me know in the comments here on YouTube. Let me know by sharing this episode and tagging me at Project Me with Tiffany on TikTok and on Instagram. If you resonated, if you're loving this, what I said, was there something I said that really gave you a moment of pause and went, wow, that makes so much freaking sense? I want to hear the feedback and us to open up a dialogue for everyone. And who in your life are you going, okay, my husband is likely the security and safety. Okay. Or my sister, or going back to childhood, my pops was security and safety. No wonder he seemed like he was a cheap ass, and he kind of was, but I bet you it was this. I can say that because my pops was cheap. I definitely inherited this money language from him. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.